I can't lie, Marvel might be cooking because we got some news about Ghost Rider coming to the MCU, the new Blade movie, plus updates about the Fantastic Four's box office, and if we're going to get a director's cut of the film, and so much more. Let's get into all of this. And let's start with the news report we have saying that Marvel Studios has reportedly cast an actor to play Ghost Rider in the MCU, and this is coming from Daniel RPK. He's very reputable in general, especially when it comes to castings though. This leaves two major questions. The first one obviously being is who has Marvel Studios cast behind the scenes to play Ghost Rider? The most popular fan cast has been Ryan Gosling this entire time, and I would really love to see him in this role. Now, I know he's come out and said that he doesn't want to do like darker, grittier roles anymore, but we know the MCU keeps things very lighthearted for the most part. I think the bigger question coming out of this report is where are we actually going to see Ghost Rider? Are we going to get a solo Ghost Rider film in the MCU? Are they moving ahead with the Midnight Suns to potentially release in between like Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars? This would make a lot of sense, honestly, since none of these guys are confirmed to be in Doomsday. Or maybe Marvel's simply planning to introduce Ghost Rider in Secret Wars itself. We know this movie's supposed to be like a new beginning for the MCU. We might even see the new X-Men cast in this film, so it would kind of make sense if they introduce Ghost Rider here and then we see him go off and get a solo film or the Midnight Suns movie after Secret Wars. I don't know, let me know in the comments who you think should play Ghost Rider and where you want to see him show up. Let's get to the rest of the news though. In the same report, he also came out and said that Blade is reportedly going to start filming in 2026. Now we know Kevin Feige was just talking about the film a couple weeks ago. It is still happening apparently, so this movie starting filming next year, maybe a 2027 or 8 release date. Again, probably after Secret Wars in 2028 is most likely, but good news that it seems like it's finally going to be moving forward. I'll honestly only believe it when I finally see it actually filming though. Before we get to the official Fantastic Four news, we got one more report from him, and this is saying that Marvel Studios is reportedly discussing the idea of Robert Downey Jr. continuing to play Doctor Doom after Avengers Secret Wars. We know they're officially still writing the script for Doomsday right now, so nothing is set in stone. And in case you're wondering, it's not even like a rumor that they're still writing the script of the movie. This was reported by Daniel RPK months ago, so again, that's why he's trustworthy. Now the actress for Mystique literally just came out a couple days ago and said, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to have more scenes or not because they're still writing the script for Doomsday. I see a lot of people being very mad about this because first of all, they just don't like the casting of RDJ as Doom, and the idea of him playing Doctor Doom going forward just makes a lot of people mad. Honestly, I'm excited to see what they can do with his character in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and Doctor Doom is such a big character. I feel like not keeping him around in the MCU would kind of be a mistake. Like getting to see him like in another battle with the Fantastic Four in a sequel to their movie or something would be really cool. The only problem I see is how do you give us a satisfying ending to Secret Wars if Doom is still just out and about and not really defeated? But hey, maybe that's how they're going to change it up. Instead of them losing in like the first film in Doomsday, they might just straight up lose in Secret Wars. We got some updates about the Fantastic Four first steps and how it's performing at the box office. It's pulled in $218 million worldwide in its opening weekend, which is very solid. The budget for the film was $200 million, so it's nice that this and Superman are both going to be successful films, likely both going to finish over like $600 million. In even crazier perspective, the 2015 Fantastic Four movie that was terrible was such a big flop that this movie has already made more than it. And this now marks the 37th consecutive MCU film in a row to debut at #1 of the domestic box office. So even though we all like to complain about the MCU and they've had some massive flops along the way, still every time a new Marvel film comes out on its opening weekend, it's been the #1 film in the US. A lot of people have been noticing that tons of scenes from the Fantastic Four trailers and teasers that we got have been completely cut out of the movie, so people straight up asked him in an interview saying, hey, Matt Shakman, the director of the film, is there going to be a director cut to the Fantastic Four first steps? To which he said, no, unfortunately not. There's so much visual effects involved, it's just not possible, which honestly I kind of don't believe him here. Because yeah, we obviously know there have been a ton of scenes cut from things in the trailers that I honestly think could have really benefited this film. I think it needed another 15 to 20 minutes to fully flesh out this world, some of the characters a little bit more, and give things time to breathe, especially towards the third act of the film. I think it really would have benefited from this, but I think the reason we're not getting a director's cut is not because of the visual effects, because some of these scenes were literally in teasers and trailers for the movie that only released like a few weeks before the movie came out in theater. So I'm pretty sure they had this stuff at least 90% done with the visual effects and ready to go in the final cut of the film before it ended up getting cut. I think the real reason we're not going to get a director's cut is simply because the MCU is so obsessed with the one canon, one continuity. They never have any alternative cuts or director cuts of any of their films, so I think Kevin Feige's just saying like, yeah, that's not happening. Which is kind of a shame, but oh well, at least we're going to get to see more of the Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday, and Vanessa Kirby was actually asked about playing Sue Storm in the film, and she had this to say. She said, it's been amazing being pregnant and working on Avengers. Avengers. I felt so inspired and so relieved that I've been so taken care of. It's been a really beautiful journey. Robert is doing just an incredible work. I'm so excited. Really seems like from all the quotes from the different Fantastic Four, we're going to be seeing a lot of the Fantastic Four and Doom interacting, which is obviously great since he is a Fantastic Four villain. Now, the next quote I'm going to go over actually spoils who is in the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four First Step, so if you haven't seen the movie, if you don't want to hear that, just skip ahead like 25 seconds. In this same interview Vanessa Kirby had with Variety, she also confirmed the same thing that the director of the movie, Matt Jackman, has said, is that it was actually Robert Downey Jr. in costume in the mid-credits scene in the Fantastic Four First Steps. A lot of people assume when they watch it, since we don't see his face or anything, that it was just like a stand-in wearing the cloak, but it's very cool that it was actually him in there and they're kind of saving the face reveal for actually the movie itself. She said, yeah, Robert's never not been on set. He's always been there. He is our leader. We call him Godfather. He's looked after us. It's such a joy working with the Russos and him. Obviously, she's referring to Robert as the actor being like the leader since he's been in the MCU the longest, one of the older actors on set, obviously. Not the fact that he's going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four or anything, but it is cool that he was actually the person there in the scene. And speaking of Doctor Doom, it's now officially been 1 year since the announcement that Robert Downey Jr. was returning to the MCU to be playing this character. This day on the internet was so insane to see everybody's reaction. If you're craving more Marvel news and Fantastic Four videos like my review of the movie, ranking of every Fantastic Four film, and more, click the playlist above my head. I'd really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching.